Welcome back to the Goal2Go podcast, man. Episode 31. This week, we're going to talk about some of those contracts that went down in the NFL. Some players got the bags. Did they deserve it? Did they not? We'll discuss it. And then 2021 NFL Redraft. We're going to dive in, take our picks, go back and forth, and redraft that 21 class and see where everyone goes, man. Spring break for you this week, man. How you doing before we started off?
Chilling, bro. And took off this week at work, so it's just vibing, bro. Really all it is.
Good to hear, man. Good to hear. So let's get into these contracts, man. First off, or lack thereof contracts, Lamar Jackson got franchise tagged by the Ravens. Any team can offer him a contract the Ravens have the chance to match. But a lot of discussion going on in the NFL. A lot of players in the league don't understand why Lamar isn't getting paid. Do you think that's only because of his injury, or what do you kind of think about that Lamar situation?
I think this whole situation comes down to one thing, and it involves your favorite team, the Cleveland Browns. I think they just destroyed the market last year. Like giving Deshaun Watson, what was it, like $240 million guaranteed or some shit like that?
It's pretty close.
Yeah, and then we all remember like when that first came out, it was like all the owners were like, what is happening? Like, why are they giving him this money? And so now we're kind of seeing that like full circle where you got a player asking for that much money, and then all the rest of the owners finally have a chance to show you like, no, that's not how things work. So, I mean, you see the teams like the Falcons come out retweeting a tweet saying they aren't pursuing Lamar Jackson. The Dolphins coming out and saying it. The Panthers aren't pursuing him. And I mean, these are all teams that would love to have Lamar Jackson theoretically, but not for that much money or 2 first-round draft picks, which they would have to give up. So this is kind of, I think this is like the NFL, like owners and the franchises, like playing like hardball, like telling Lamar, like, no, like we don't give those contracts out.
Yeah, I mean, the Dolphins, I kind of understand, but when it comes to the Falcons, I think they need a QB desperately, and then the Panthers, obviously, but I think they need a lot more than a QB over there for sure. Derek Carr, speaking of the NFC South, he got $100 million guaranteed.
4 years, $150 million.
You like that one?
No. Like, I mean, Derek Carr is an okay quarterback. Like, all right, he becomes the best quarterback in that division by far. What does that get you, bro? Like, you make the playoffs, cool. Like, you're not winning a Super Bowl with Derek Carr. Like, I don't understand. Like, people are like, yeah, like, this is a good move. Like, we finally got a good quarterback. Like, bro, the objective of, like, the league, like, playing football is to win championships. If I'm not winning the Super Bowl with Derek Carr, bro, I'm sorry. It's just, that shit is just not happening. Derek Carr will not win the Super Bowl in New Orleans. So, I mean, it's cool if you're Derek Carr, you get $100 million guaranteed. But, I mean, the Saints have a history of doing this, just like giving out just ridiculous contracts. They just keep pushing the money back and back. Like, they're in cap hell every single year. But then they just sign some player and just push it off to the next year. Like, I was looking at something. Apparently, like, Michael Thomas is going to have a $56 million cap hit next year. Some crazy shit like that. Like, did the same shit with Drew Brees in his contract. And now Derek Carr's $150 million guaranteed. I mean, cool. The Saints make the playoffs next year. Do they win a Super Bowl? No. So why are you giving Derek Carr $100 million guaranteed?
Well, while we're talking about the Saints, I did see a clip of your corner, Slay. I think he said Chris Olave was the 5th hardest receiver to guard.
He's a,
in his
Chris
opinion.
Olave is a dog. I saw that.
No, yeah. I'm just saying, man. So I know he had Devontae Adams last year, who he had somewhere on his list. He had him and Jay Jets as 1A, 1B.
Well, I don't think he had Devontae Adams because it was like the receivers he played against.
Oh, yeah. But he said he was like the best in the league for now. He said, but Jay Jets is taking his spot.
Yeah. I think it was Jefferson, Terry McLaurin, CeeDee Lamb. I think he said Deontay Johnson was at number 4,
he
actually.
did say Deontay.
And then Chris Olave. Yeah.
Random ass name.
Is he even the best receiver on his team?
I mean, That's a coin toss, bro. I mean,
And I think Claypool was there at the time too. Was Claypool better than Deontay?
nah.
I'll fuck with Deontay. He's nice.
Yeah, but Danny Dimes, who threw 15 touchdowns last year,
Yeah.
he got a bag. What was that like? I think it's like $40 million a year.
4 years, $160 million, which averages out to $40 million a year. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a stat where Russ had more passing touchdowns than Danny Dimes. Obviously, Daniel Jones doing something with his legs.
Bro, I was listening to a podcast. I think it was Nick Wright on Colin Cowherd's podcast, literally before he came here, bro. He had a crazy stat, bro. I guess after his rookie year, Daniel Jones has started more games than he's thrown touchdowns.
That I did not know that. He's good for one tutty a game, bro. That's all I know.
Bro, that's it. He had a turnover problem. And then, bro, I mean, Daniel Jones right now should be, on his hands and knees, thanking Brian Daboll for just basically giving him $40 million a year. Because without him, I don't think any of this ever happens.
Yeah, I agree. Especially after this season. I mean, Daboll ran that offense for him, and obviously up there for, one of the best coaches in the league right now. So you look at that, but
the only positive thing I will say about this Daniel Jones contract is after 3 years, they have an out. That's it.
They
bro.
put a team option on it.
Yeah, the cap hit's not as bad on the third year or whatever. They try to get out of it.
Yeah. So Lamar still hasn't gotten paid. Daniel Jones, Derek Carr got a bag. Jets, they're trying to get Rodgers to New York. People are throwing rumors out. Tom Brady's coming back. Not happening.
I did see those.
It's been a crazy week going on around the NFL just for an off season.
Yeah, the combine just finished. A lot of buzz around that and stuff.
Yeah.
Apparently, Anthony Richardson is now the second favorite to go number one after his combine workout.
Dude, he was throwing some deep balls. I was like, damn, I didn't know he had that arm on him.
I mean, bro, everything was on tape. All that shit was there, dog. The combine just basically, just reinforces what we know. Fam, you left going into the combine, what would you have said about Anthony Richardson, bro? The man, big as hell, super athlete, probably one of the best athletes we ever had at the quarterback position, but is a sort of a raw prospect. He goes to the combine, tests out of this world. He's a freak athlete, throws the ball well, but at the end of the day, what do we learn? All right, he's fast. Yeah, we know he's fast. He's a big dude. Yeah, we know he measured in right around 6'4" or something like that. This is all stuff we knew.
Nah, yeah. His 40 time was, I think it was faster than Cam Newton's when he ran his. Yeah. So, I mean, you're right. Basically everything we knew coming into it. CJ Stroud, he was looking good with his throws.
They were saying he had the best throwing performance ever in combine history, which is pretty crazy. But
was it him when they asked who his two role models of the quarterback position were? Hey, I like that second answer, man. I like that second answer. Shout out D-Watt, man. Fours up.
Why do you like that second answer?
Because that's the Cleveland Browns quarterback, bro.
Just making sure there's no other reasons.
He's a baller on the field, bro. I don't stand for any of his agendas, but if that man wants to win us a Super Bowl, bro, and NFL's gonna let him play, man, go ahead and let him get his bag. What? I'm just being honest.
Nah, I mean,
they let Ray Lewis in the league. I mean, Big Ben.
How's that contract restructure looking?
Oh, I mean, there's literally a clause in his contract to where Deshaun Watson has to restructure his contract. So
So why even give him that money in the first place?
Because, I mean, it's not like the money's just going to go away, bro. It's just going to be paid in later years. So the cap hit's not as thick this year. I mean,
you're just trying to finesse.
You just got to push it. Restructure, all it is you push cap held back another year, bro. That's all it does.
The Browns are the new Saints.
Yeah, basically. I mean.
Oh, have fun. Fucking mid-hell.
Nah. We'll see, bro. Nick Chubb, team-friendly contract. There's some rumors the Browns might trade him. If you're a Browns fan and you agreed with that shit, just go ahead and never put on that jersey again. Probably be doing yourself a favor, actually.
And they saying they're not even gonna run the ball that much, bro. So they don't need a running back like Nick Chubb.
Nah, they're still gonna run the ball, but it is Deshaun Watson's offense to run. Gonna be a lot more shotgun action, a lot more shotgun runs with Nick Chubb, and I heard he's gonna be more involved in that passing game as well. So I'm excited. I don't know what Kevin Stefanski's gonna cook up with that, but he's got a whole season to draw some shit up. So hopefully he doesn't mess it up.
Is Stefanski on the hot seat? Like, is this his like prove it year?
I would
does
say
he have
so,
to get
man.
it done with Deshaun this year? Like a full offseason, a full like.
I mean, you had last season, get him back into the swing. Now you got a whole offseason, mini camp, training camp, OTAs, stuff like that. So, I mean, I would say so. You got him, still trying to figure out what they're gonna do in that safety role. But I think it was Jesse Bates, Cleveland's looking at. So they're trying to find a replacement on that
division rival.
Yeah. I think, who was it? Someone and him have the same agent. Forget who it was, but they got the same agent. So there's connections there. And Mary Kay came out, one of the Cleveland beat reporters came out and said that there's a lot of buzz going around that people want to play with Deshaun Watson in Cleveland. So, I mean, hey, we get a little receiver, man. I'm not mad at it.
D-Hop reuniting?
Bro, D-Hop and Deshaun, I mean, that's D-Hop's best quarterback he's ever played with. Yeah. And considering he's had a hell of a career, go ahead and pair him back up with Deshaun, man, and see what them boys can do.
Not Kyler?
Really? I mean, even if you take Kyler at its peak, bro, it's not close to Deshaun. You were talking Deshaun Watson was a top 3 quarterback. Arguably was like, I'm not going to say Patrick Mahomes before Patrick Mahomes just because Mahomes is that good, but
it's a different play. They play different too.
He was like the face of the quarterback in the league at one point. Like this is the guy,
face of the young quarterback.
Yeah. Not like when Brady,
Brady
like
and Rodgers was still.
But he was the face of the young QBs for sure.
Yeah, he was.
And he was, he's got a big arm, can move with his legs.
Beat Josh Allen in the playoffs.
Yeah, he probably can. Yeah, he did. He almost beat Pat Mahomes too, but I mean, they were on the Texans and blew a 21-point lead or something.
Some dumb shit like that.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm excited for Cleveland this year. Say that every year though, so we'll see what happens.
You guys got a pretty easy schedule this year too, don't you? Like
I don't even know.
Third place or fourth place schedule.
Yeah, just know I hope Lamar signs out of the AFC North. And we'll be in the playoffs.
Oh, so you want to face Pro Bowler Tyler Huntley?
Come on, bro.
Is that what you're telling me?
Come on, Pro Bowler. That's a joke.
I don't make the rules. What do you mean? He was in the Pro Bowl.
He was, but it's still a joke. Like, come on. You tell me the NFL's hit on everything they've ever done. Like, exactly.
I got no comment, bro. Tyler Huntley, well deserved.
Yeah, good job on his season, but Lamar Jackson is better than you. That's my take. You got anything else you want to add before we start this redraft?
No, not really.
All right, man. So 2021 redraft. You're gonna start us off. It was to be honest, the Jags picked first. Go ahead and start us off, man.
All right, like we were discussing, the Jags with the first pick. I got him taking Zach Wilson.
I see when I said
a bunch of some good-looking MILFs out there in Duval, man. Nah, I'm joking.
He will.
Trevor Lawrence, one of the best young quarterbacks in the league. Saw what he did in the face of adversity in the playoffs. Turned this season around. This was basically like his rookie season. Just kind of throw away that year with Urban Meyers, and what you had this year was a franchise elite quarterback. So the Jaguars made the right pick. They took Trevor Lawrence.
Pick number 2 with the Jets, man. I've been going back and forth. It's like if they get Rodgers, you don't need a quarterback. But that's still an if right now at this point. So we're just going to stick with the quarterback room. Say it stays the same till next season. You go the best available. I mean, if you watch the Jets game this year, you see how abysmal it was just not having a quarterback. And there's so many games that if they had even half of a quarterback, they probably would have won.
Yeah.
So I'm not going with the best player available. There's a lot of talent in this draft. But when it comes to quarterback, after that T-Law spot, there's a lot of question marks. You know, I was thinking about a guy that already plays in the AFC East and Mac Jones. Kind of got benched for Bailey Zappi this year. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the unproven guy, man. The hybrid, one of the best rushers to ever play the quarterback position in one season, basically. I'm going to go ahead and take your boy Justin Fields.
Bro, when you said unproven, I thought you were going to take Trey Lance.
Oh, nah.
I was like, yo, there's no way. Yeah, Justin Fields is the right pick there. If Justin Fields is on that Jets team, they make the playoffs. Pretty simple.
I mean, they beat the Dolphins in that last week for sure.
Definitely do. He doesn't even have to throw the ball. He just run to the playoffs.
He's like 9-6. Go ahead with that third.
All right, yeah, the 49ers. This is where they traded up for Trey Lance. But I have them going a different route here. We kind of see, Shanahan in that scheme. Everyone has been saying this season is like QB proof. We saw Jimmy Garoppolo have success. We saw Brock Purdy have success, I believe, undefeated this season, besides in the playoffs where he got injured very early on. So, yes, I do think quarterback is a very pressing need, but we see, 2 years in a row now where their quarterback gets injured and they still make it to the NFC Championship game. So, right now, I think what I would do is I would just build on those strengths, and you have Nick Bosa, and why not pair him with Micah Parsons? Like, literally the two best edge rushers in the league coming off of both sides. That shit would be unblockable. That would just make their defense that much better. And like you said, on offense, you got the weapons, you got the system. Shit, put fucking me back there at quarterback. We make the NFC Championship if they got that defense. So, Micah Parsons and Nick Bosa, 1 and 2 in Defensive Player of the Year voting on the same D-line. That shit is crazy.
Yeah, I knew you were going to go ahead and take the best available pick there. I kind of wanted him to fall, bro. Number 4 with the Falcons, they took Kyle Pitts here.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts, probably generational talent at that tight end. You don't really know because there really hasn't been a QB in Atlanta.
Well, 1,000 yards his rookie year, so
yeah,
the talent is there.
But I'm going to go ahead and say who's under a lot of controversy, who's picked right after him right now. After I don't know if you saw his BM say he could ruin his career in one post, Jamar Chase. I'm going to go ahead and take him with that 4 pick to the Falcons.
Okay. That mixes some things up here then.
I mean, there's really no direction for the Falcons. You could have went QB, bro, but I'm just going best available at this point. I
mean, Jamar on the Falcons would help whoever they have back there at quarterback. Him and Drake London, it's a nice receiver duo.
You go ahead and sign a little vet QB. I saw something, hold on, Phillip Rivers was in contact with the Dolphins and someone else last season.
I think it was the 49ers.
Yeah.
When
anyway,
they got injured, yeah.
So they could find someone that's able to throw that ball, but
I don't think Phillip Rivers would be the one. I don't know, bring in Jameis or somebody like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Jacoby.
Jacoby wouldn't be bad.
All right, so I have the Bengals at 5. They originally took Jamar Chase. Fuck Chicago. All right. So, damn, in my mock, I had them taking Jamar Chase as well because I had the Falcons taking someone else. But the way this board is falling, you know what? Give me one of the best left tackles in the league. I'm going to go with Rashawn Slater. Joe Burrow, basically his entire career in Cincinnati has been under pressure. I mean, his rookie year, that's the reason he, tore his ACL and messed his leg up. He's just been under pressure all season. This past season, kind of reason they lost in the playoffs. Chris Jones 8. So just give Joe Burrow some protection. Keep him upright. Rashawn Slater, although he got injured this year, his rookie year was all pro. Super, super good left tackle. Super sound. Really fundamental. Just give him just a player you can put there for 10 years and don't even worry about it, bro. So I got the Bengals taking Rashawn Slater.
Next pick up, I believe this was one of the Niners picks. They traded up for it with the Dolphins, man. And you could go a couple different ways. Byron Jones, he's getting cut. Yeah, you need another corner. We got some good talent in this class. But I just can't imagine that duo out there not on the field. The two speed guys and the whole reason that offense runs through, man. I'm sticking with Jalen Waddle, an all-pro receiver in my opinion. Same draft class as your boy Smitty, who you probably take over him. But, Jalen Waddle, he's the number 2 guy, same as Devontae Smith in Philly. You can't go wrong with either one, but I'm going to take my boy, and I'm just going to rock with Jalen Waddle here.
All right. Lions here at 7. You know what, bro? I'm going to do some crazy shit.
There's no
I'm going to take Trey Lance, bro. You have Jared Goff, but, I mean, that's a bridge. What are you really going to do with Jared Goff? Trey Lance, we still have yet to see play football. I saw a crazy stat the other day, I think on IG. Tom Brady last season threw more passes than Trey Lance has in his entire football career since high school. Like, bro, like Tom
Even
Brady,
in college? Yes. I mean, because he sat out 1 year in college, right? Yeah.
So, like, his entire football career, Tom Brady threw more passes than him last season, like, in terms of, like, total, like, attempts, which was fucking wild. So we still don't really know how good Trey Lance is, but that upside is still there. He has the rushing ability. We saw what he was able to do in college, throwing the ball. It's just, will they be able to put it together? Now, you got Jared Goff there. He'll have time to develop. The Lions just drafted Jamison Williams. He was a wide receiver 1 in Alabama. Probably was going to be the first receiver drafted if he doesn't tear his ACL in the championship game. So you got talent there. Amon-Ra unfortunately won't be there because he was in this draft. So give me Trey Lance, man. The Lions have some upside in that division. Kirk Cousins, he's getting older. What's his ceiling? Aaron Rodgers is looking like he's gone. So Jordan Love, we don't really know what he is. Chicago Bears and Justin Fields need a lot more than just Justin Fields, and they don't even have him in this reality. So in this world, Trey Lance could hypothetically be the best quarterback in that division with the most upside. So with the Lions at 7, I got him going Trey Lance. Big question mark.
It shook things up right there. And I might as well just kind of follow in your footsteps to some extent. I mean, here next up on the board, the Carolina Panthers. They're in an abysmal state at this point. Baker Mayfield, their quarterback. Like, let's be honest, man. You're not winning a championship with Baker Mayfield and that team you got built around him. So why not go ahead, take a chance, and go with the guy who his rookie year was probably the best quarterback in the class, in Mac Jones. I'm going to go ahead and draft here. Had a bit slump year, injuries, ups and downs. You get him back healthy. I still think he could be, a good quarterback in this league. Not saying he's going to excel, but, offer something that the Panthers desperately need.
Yeah, and that's probably who I would have gone as well. They've just been stuck in mid for so long. Mac Jones kind of is mid, but at least you still have that upside where he has room to grow. He can get slightly better, and he's their best quarterback since Cam Newton, easily. So I like that pick. At number 9, Pat Surtain is still there, so I'm taking him. The Broncos get to stick with Patrick Surtain.
Yeah, I mean,
one of the best corners in the league, best young corner.
You could have took him earlier in the draft.
I would have took him with Miami.
Needs weren't. I respect it. I mean,
his dad played for the Dolphins, kind of, the homecoming. He went to American Heritage, so that would have been cool. And kind of like you said, like you touched on it, they kind of need corner help in that secondary.
I agree. 10 Eagles, I mean, they need corner help, but why break up something good when it's going good? Like, same reason I took Waddle, man. I got to respect it. Eagles here, they took Smitty. Might as well go ahead, let him rock. Stay a Philadelphia Eagle.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Although, with J.C. Horn here on the board, I don't know, bro. It's now that we know we have A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert. I don't know.
You saw Smitty cooking in that Super Bowl, bro.
Yes, bro. Devontae Smith is so good, but I don't know, bro. James Bradbury, he's leaving in free agency. Slay's like 32. He's getting up there in age. I think he has one more year left on his contract. Like, who are we gonna start on the outside? Like Avonte Maddox, like he's a nickel, he's a slot. Chauncey's leaving in free agency. Just based on need, I probably would have went J.C. Horn here, but I mean it's Devontae Smith. I'm not gonna argue it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I just don't want to break up something that was good. Maybe I should let you pick 2 in a row, but Smitty's off the board.
All right. The Bears at number 11.
This is
where I originally had Jalen Waddle going. But actually, okay. You know what? I'm gonna just go J.C. Horn. Stop the fall. You have Jalen Johnson, but I mean, on the other side of him, you can add J.C. Horn, who's better than him at this point. He had that injury his rookie year, missed the whole season, came back this season. One of the best young corners in the league. Bears have holes every single place, so I mean, wherever you go, you couldn't really go wrong. So they get a really, really good, bright young corner in J.C. Horn.
Yeah. Next up, the Dallas Cowboys. Here they took Micah Parsons.
Tough.
Yeah, you could go edge. Man, it's so tough because I want this guy to fall, but it's like, do you take him? The Cowboys, we kind of saw they lack that second receiver, right? And a team that's, you got Dak, you got Zeke and Tony Pollard, you got CD. After that, it's just a drop off. Yeah, you got Dalton Schultz at tight end, but I think if you had another punch in that offense and just make it go, I'm going to go ahead and take Amon-Ra St. Brown right here with the Cowboys. I mean,
yeah,
he was an absolute steal in his draft. When healthy, he's an elite receiver in this league, and I think highly underappreciated because he does play for Detroit. But I'm going to go ahead and take Amon-Ra. If my guy doesn't slide, he doesn't slide. But
all right. You basically sniped me because here at 13 for the Chargers, that would have been a perfect fit. But instead, I'm going to take – originally they took Rashawn Slater. He's off the board, so give him the next best tackle and take Penei Sewell. He's been up there in Detroit, kind of like you said, him and Amon-Ra going under the radar. But Penei Sewell, super young. He's going to just be kind of basically what Rashawn Slater is. Just plug him over there, protect Justin Herbert, keep him upright. Penei Sewell, really, really solid tackle, and I think he'll fit well in the offense. It would have been fun to give him Amon-Ra St. Brown. It really would have, but unfortunately you took him. So I'm going to plug
there's
Penei
still
Sewell
a couple
in.
receivers you could have took there.
And not this high.
You keep a good tackle, and you kind of need one. Next up, the Jets. Who's the Jets tackles? They got
They have Mekhi Becton.
Yeah.
But he's always banged up.
Hurt, yeah. But, they're kind of straight at tackle. I was going to say I'm going to take Alex Leatherwood here. Nah, I'm just playing. They took Vera Tucker here.
Not in the league, Alex Leatherwood.
They got a quarterback. You could keep Vera Tucker. Wouldn't be a bad pick at all.
He's a solid. When he's healthy, he's been really good.
Yeah, exactly. One of the best offensive linemen in this class. I'm just going to stick with Vera Tucker, man. Solid pick. They got to tackle him. Mekhi when he's healthy. I'm going to go ahead and keep him there at the guard position because they kind of got everything filled out besides that QB position. This really was the only need.
Not mad at it. AVT, like he said, he's been one of the best tackles or guards, in this draft. He's super good when he's healthy, when he's on the field. So with the Patriots, that's who I originally had him taking, but Christian Darrisaw's there. He slides. So I'm going to have the Patriots taking Christian Darrisaw. Kind of quiet his rookie year, but this past season out there in Minnesota, he played one of the best seasons for a tackle. He's been really, really solid. Big reason that Vikings offense scores so many points is Kirk has time in the pocket. Christian Darrisaw is protecting his blind side. So, fortunately, the Patriots don't have a quarterback now. Mac Jones is off the board. I mean, what, you want to take Davis Mills? Not really. So, there's really no answer at quarterback at this point in the draft. So, I just kind of got him taking best available in a very important position. So, I'll get Christian Darrisaw. Help whoever is back there. Bailey Zappi, whoever is back there. Christian Darrisaw really helped him.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it, but kind of leaves me a stance. The Cardinals with 16, they picked Zaven Collins here in this spot. Yeah.
This is like Leatherwood did go to the. Oh, he was after him. Yeah, so Zaven Collins is like the first miss.
Yeah, honestly, in his draft. Yeah.
Oh, Zach Wilson was the second pick.
Nah, yeah. Actually, that was the big miss.
Yeah.
Alex Leatherwood was the biggest miss, but
I would say Zach Wilson is bigger just because of the position.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Alex Leatherwood, I think, is like out the league and doesn't play football anymore. But I mean, Zach Wilson,
which is crazy because I mean, he's a tackle at Bama, incredible size, just really raw coming into the draft. And
he wasn't. And when the Raiders took him, everyone was like, "That's a reach. Like he shouldn't have gone this high." So.
Exactly.
But I mean, Zach Wilson's downfall this season, man, was just generational. I mean, coming into the year, he had all the hype, looked good in preseason, was fucking his best friend's mom. Like, he was on top of the world, and then he had to play football, and everything came down crashing.
Hey, man, never get too high, never get too low. I still don't know who I'm going to take. The Cardinals, like, you might lose D-Hop, you go receiver here.
Cardinals need everything, bro.
Yeah, like, they need absolutely anything and everything. You know, it's like, do you go defense here? Yeah, they need help.
Defense.
You said you personally would?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I did, like, when I did my mock.
Here, I might as well.
I know who you don't want to pick, bro.
I'm not picking him. He's not coming off the board.
I bet he won't be there.
You won't? He won't?
No.
All right, well, then I'm going to go ahead and pick number 16 overall, Jalen Phillips, man. Edge rusher, absolutely elite. Sorry he didn't fall to Miami. Jalen Phillips to the Cardinals. I was looking for an answer just to anybody but him.
Yeah, I think at this point in the draft, like, I mean, J.J. Watt just retired. You lost Chandler Jones. Who do you have rushing the passer? No one. Bring in Jalen Phillips. He's probably the best player on that defense right now. All right. The Raiders, they messed this one up big time. We just discussed Alex Leatherwood. Damn. This board is falling a little different. You know what? This is just another team who A, needs a quarterback, but no quarterback there. And B, with a lot of holes they need to fill. So I'm going to go with Creed Humphrey.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, just sure up that offensive line more. You franchise tag Josh Jacobs, so he had a career season, one of the best running backs in the league last season. Give him Creed Humphrey, who has been a major part of that Kansas City O-line. Big reason they won that Super Bowl. He's the play caller, signal caller up front. Raiders could use that. One of the best centers in the league, if not the best. Give him Creed Humphrey. They get a major upgrade at a position that is pretty important.
I will say, I think you left someone off this list, but it's all right.
Who'd I leave off this list, bro?
I'm just Liam Eichenberg, man. Is it 21?
I think. How good has he really been, dog?
I mean, he's been a solid guard. I mean,
you want to
probably,
take him,
probably not
bro.
better than Creed Humphrey, bro. But I mean, you know, that's gonna leave me 18th pick with
you
the
can
Dolphins.
still take him. Anybody in this draft can go. So
Nah, I'm straight. I mean, 18 at the Dolphins. You lose Jalen Phillips. You go with the next best thing, the boy from the U, who also plays in the AFC East. Go ahead with Greg Rousseau. Keep that edge going, and I'm going to go with Greg Rousseau here. Might be a little bit of a reach, but actually, you know what? I'm not taking Greg Rousseau because this person has to be drafted. Yeah, you put him on the list. I'm taking Javon Holland, man. Captain of the defense. I'm taking Javon Holland.
All right, Javon Holland. Off at 18 for the Dolphins. You don't get him in the second round anymore.
I mean, I don't think he was going to stay.
FYI, for my mock, how I did it, this is like a little side tip. Bro, at 6, I had the Dolphins taking Pat Surtain, and I know you wanted Jalen Waddle or whatever, but they had a second pick in this draft, and doubling back at 18, I took Kyle Pitts for them, bro. How would you feel about that?
Well, I mean, Kyle Pitts didn't slide in our mock draft. Didn't you take him?
No.
No?
No, I didn't take him.
Oh, shit.
You didn't
I forgot
either.
all about him, man. I mean, they kind of got Gesicki. They really don't use him.
But I mean, bro, Kyle Pitts is a different animal,
different.
dog.
But I don't know. Tight end's not that important in this offense. And you get two speed demons, Hill and Waddle.
Kyle Pitts is a speed demon.
Yeah, but not like
matchup nightmare.
I'm not mad at it, bro.
George Kittle.
Listen, as someone in their second year in the NFL, you wearing that C across your chest for that defense. He's the leader and the soul of this defense. So I got to stick with Javon Holland in that pick because there's no way he's sliding that late in the second round again.
No, you definitely go first round. All right. Commanders at 19. I got them taking Tyson Campbell. Their secondary has been kind of shaky. They got some decent safety play from, I believe, Derek Forrest, Cam Crow. He's solid, but that safety, you need corner. Tyson Campbell has sneakily been one of the best young corners this year. Had a really, really good season down there in Jacksonville, and I think he would slide in very nice on this Commanders defense, especially in that NFC East, guarding all those receivers. Eagles just drafted Devontae Smith again, A.J. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, and now the Cowboys have Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, you need somebody that can cover it. Tyson Campbell will get the job done.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. Here, 20, the Giants, they kind of need a receiver, and they did take one in this draft. They didn't work out well for them. And Kadarius Toney. So obviously I'm gonna go a different route, considering we know how this plays out. He'd be a great fit in this spot. I mean, Giants did everything I don't know, besides actually letting KT play or whatever. So in this spot, I mean, they run the ball a lot. Do they need help at guard?
That's where I went. They need help everyone on the O-line. Outside of Andrew Thomas.
You didn't take Landon Dickerson, did you?
I didn't.
Yeah,
He's still there.
I'm going to go Landon Dickerson in his spot. Kind of beef up that O-line. You tag Saquon for a year. Still committing to that run offense. Get him some help. Let him get down the field before he's getting hit at the line of scrimmage. I'm going to go Landon Dickerson, beef up that O-line.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick. Really, he's been a very important part, that Eagles run game. Mauler, big guy. He'll block very well for Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. So I got another guard going right after him with the Colts, and give me Tevin Jenkins. That Colts O-line was not good at all this season. I think Matt Ryan was like the most sacked quarterback or something like that this year. He was under pressure all season. So was Sam Ehlinger and Nick Foles or whoever they decided to roll out there at quarterback. So hopefully Jonathan Taylor comes back a little more healthy this season. Put Tevin Jenkins there, who's been, up there in Chicago. He's had a quiet season, but he's been very good. Tevin Jenkins has been a really good tackle for him, or guard, swing tackle if you need it. But ultimately, you just got to improve that offensive line up there for the Colts. So Tevin Jenkins will fit right in on that O-line.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. And you pair him with one of the greatest of all time to do it. So,
Quentin Nelson.
yeah. I mean, what? I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
he's a good guard.
Generational talent. All right. Not the greatest. He's generational talent.
Quentin Nelson's a very good player, yes.
Next up, the Titans. Shit, they need everything. Talking about trading Derrick Henry. With that news, I'm just going to... I don't think he's a Titan this year, no matter what. You know, there's a couple running backs in this class. A few that are taking the first round. A few injury-prone ones. Do you go with them? I mean, I don't know, but this guy's still on the board, and his career's already fucked up once, so you might as well just mess it up twice. I'm going with Kyle Pitts, bro. He slid at 22. The Titans, they get a steal. Question is...
who's throwing him the ball?
Ryan Tannehill. I mean, that is going to work for a couple of seasons, but if he's healthy. But if it leads to Malik Willis, then he's just back in Atlanta 2.0.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. The Titans have just too many holes, and I don't know if tight end would be the hole I choose to fill, but pause. Yeah, I mean, I guess I get it. The talent's there. So at 23 for the Minnesota Vikings, this is 100% going to be a defensive pick. Yeah, I'm going to go with Asante Samuel Jr. They need help on that back end. I mean, they've one of the worst defenses in the league. Their defense is literally the reason they lost to the Giants in the first round of the playoffs. And we're talking about how Daniel Jones doesn't throw touchdowns. Well, he does against the Vikings. So need somebody back there to put a stop to it. Asante Samuel, you saw that crazy, crazy game he had in the first half against the Jags. Had like 3 picks or something like that. Ball hawk. He plays, physical. He has good instincts. You need anything on that back end. And Asante Samuel Jr. walks in. He's the best DB in that room.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I was kind of hoping he fell a couple more picks, but guess not. Next up, Steelers. They took Najee Harris. Really good rookie year, solid rookie year, and a struggling offense. He was the only bright spot, kind of. Second year, banged up, injured, not really hitting the holes. Is it due to injuries? Is it due to that lack of offense over there in Pittsburgh? I mean, you got a couple different ways you could go, but I mean, this is a defensive-minded team, so yeah, I kind of want to lean towards the defensive side of the ball. The question is, there's a lot of people. They already got, T.J. Watt and then whatchamacallit, the Highsmith, yeah. Who I believe
Hayward.
He was in our last redraft.
He was.
So it's like you don't want to take a D-line here. You know what? I'm going to go with someone that actually took in this draft, but it was way later. Go ahead and, them boys love him in Pittsburgh, Pat Freiermuth.
Reunite him. I mean, that's not a bad pick at all.
I mean,
I get it.
Yeah. The running back, it's such a replaceable position if you're not, absolutely dominant. Not saying Najee still can't, but, with the injury question marks, I'm going to go ahead and rock with Pat Freiermuth, who is one of the more reliable tight ends in the NFL.
Yeah, it makes sense. Give Kenny Pickett his safety blanket. Knows the offense. It'll be a smooth fit. Don't hate it. All right. We have the Jags. Originally they took Etienne, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, unfortunately, they lose Tyson Campbell, so they don't have really anything at corner. They just released Griffin. What's his name? Shaquille?
Yeah.
Which one? Yeah. They just released him, so I'm going to go Greg Newsome. It's kind of, a little long down the board, but you know more than anyone that he's been a serviceable corner. And at this position where, I mean, the offense is pretty set. You got Trevor Lawrence, you know what he's capable of. Now you kind of want to just build that defense. Actually, wait, no, Greg Rousseau is still here, isn't he?
Damn. Yeah, he is. I mean, yeah, you go either one.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna stick with Greg Newsome just because on that D line they just took Trayvon Walker. You got Josh Allen. Those are two solid pass rushers, especially Josh Allen. That secondary is where it gets really thin, losing Tyson Campbell and releasing Griffin. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with Greg Newsome, a solid cover corner.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. Much of his issues in the first couple of years, I think, comes down to Joe Woods and schemes. So I still think he's got a bright future, and he's kind of maybe playing the slot this year. We'll see. With the emergence of Martin Emerson on the outside, Greg Newsome's fighting for kind of a spot because he's not really a slot corner. So I'm not mad at it because here with the Browns at 26, you got the best pass rusher in the NFL coming off the edge on one side, getting triple teamed on every play. Get that man some help, man. I'm going to go ahead and take Greg Rousseau at this pick. He already plays in cold weather in Buffalo. Go ahead, put him up there in Cleveland. Him and Miles off the edge, quarterbacks. Going to be having some nightmares in the AFC North, I'll tell you that much. Joe Burrow. So I'm going to go ahead and take, Rousseau here, 26 with the Browns, pair him up with MG. I love it.
That'd make you a happy Browns fan, huh?
Yeah, I mean, especially with the emergence of Martin Emerson, corner, really, I mean, we need a slot, not really a heavy need. So I think you had that pass rush and just keep adding to it.
It's a good pick. It fits. Like you said, kind of take some pressure off of MG. The Ravens here at, what pick is this? 27?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have them go Trey Smith, the guard, who Kansas City originally select. He's been really, really solid for the Chiefs as well. Like Creed Humphrey, another reason Patrick Mahomes is able to be upright in that pocket and make the plays he does. Solid for them at guard. So, you just placed the franchise tag on Lamar. Is he going to be there? How long? You want to give them more weapons, but they have another pick down this board, and I think there'll be some, options available. So, ultimately, just try to protect Lamar Jackson, give him as much help as you can up front. So, I'm going to go Trey Smith, the guard.
Yeah, I'm not.
And
mad
they
at
like
it.
to run the ball too. AFC North, they're gonna try to pound the rock. So
28 here with the Saints. They just got Derek Carr. They got a receiver. Kamara's still there. That defense really lacks. So I want to go defense here. Picks are kind of thin in my opinion. You already took Tyson Campbell and Asante Samuel. I'm going to go with one of the best safeties out of this class. And I don't even know how to say his last name, but Talanoa Hufanga. Yeah, 49ers.
Some would say the best safety in this class.
I'm going to say the second best, but personal opinion. I'm going to go with him here. I mean, the Saints, they really struggle on the defensive side of the ball, even though they do have some talent out there. And with this pick, I mean,
Pair him up with Honey Badger.
yeah, you kind of get that veteran leadership. I think they're both box safeties though, but I mean, who cares? It's positionless football.
Yeah, I mean, kind of the rich get richer here with the secondary of the Saints, where you got Marshawn Lattimore, Honey Badger. So just adding more talent to a talented position group, it makes sense. Packers here at number 29, and looks like Aaron Rodgers is heading out the door. So what do? Take a receiver in the first round. Got him getting Kadarius Toney here. Jordan Love being their quarterback, kind of an unknown. You saw the connection him and Christian Watson had against the Eagles later on in the season, and you saw how much Christian Watson improved, stepping up. Freak athlete on the outside, has the potential to be the true number one. You got Romeo Doubs. He can play on the outside as well. Just throw Kadarius Toney in the slot, kind of be that safety blanket. And you saw how the Chiefs ended up using him in the Super Bowl. Do the same thing. Throw him to screens. Give him the end arounds, quick slants. Get him involved quick around the line of scrimmage. Just get the ball in his hands and let him work. And I think it'll be a huge, huge help for a young guy like Jordan Love to have, going into last season, everyone was like, oh, they lost Devontae Adams. It's the worst receiving core. Like, Aaron Rodgers has no one to throw to. Now, if you add Kadarius Toney with those two guys and how they developed, I think it's one of the brighter futures, in terms of receiving rooms. So, got your boy KT the Joker going to the Packers.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. Here with this pick, the Bills, man, I can't believe this player slid this far. But it's really just not a need for him, and I can't take him. So, I mean, they took Greg Rousseau in this spot.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you could go Odafe Owe, however you say it.
Yeah.
Kind of had a sophomore slump compared to his rookie year. Man. You go. You know what? I'm just going to go with Odafe here. And just, they took an edge. Kind of need someone off the edge.
Yeah, I mean, he fits it. Odafe Owe, yeah, he's more of a athlete upside kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Been kind of banged up, but if he stays healthy and puts everything together, the potential's there. All right, Ravens with pick 31. And this is, I talked about, taking that O-line first and then kind of, swoop back to help Lamar and give him a few weapons. So I'm going to take Elijah Moore here. I mean, at this point, he's the best receiver on that Ravens team outside of Mark Andrews in terms of wide receiver. It's tough. They took Rashad Bateman. He just hasn't been healthy. He's been banged up. Devin Duvernay, I mean, what does he really bring? He's a deep threat, but Elijah Moore, a pretty good slot receiver, versatile, really good, in New York when he wanted to play, but, everything going on up there, I can understand why.
They might not have Bateman because he was taken in this draft, but...
Yeah, they're not going to have Bateman.
Oh, yeah.
And I would take... Yeah, this is me saying I'm taking Elijah Moore over him. Yeah, so...
Comfortably.
Is this the best receiver Lamar has ever played with in the NFL? Hollywood's pretty good, but, I mean... Elijah Moore, I would say, is like a step below. So the second best receiver he's ever had. So give him Elijah Moore.
What about Dez?
Throw up the X. Completely forgot he played with the Ravens.
Yeah, it's all right. I was just messing around.
Yeah.
Pick 32 with the Bucks. I took Joe Tyron here. Could go edge, but someone that slid in this draft to me, and kind of because it's the linebacker position, has really been a solid spot for the Commanders. Jamin Davis, I mean, it really plugs up that hole. Had 100 tackles this season.
Damn, you taking him over Nick Bolton?
Oh, shit. I mean, let's take a look at it. Nick Bolton.
I mean, you saw what he did in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but, I mean, did he really, he was just out there. I mean, he was right place, right time.
Nah, he had a pretty good game in the Super Bowl.
All right, I'm taking Nick Bolton. Yeah, comfortably. I mean, it's because he's on the Chiefs. I wasn't really thinking about him, but Jamin Davis, no disrespect, he's another solid player. But here, I think the Bucks, they get some help on defense, which
there's some talks about Levante David also leaving or being released. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's really old, bigger cap hit. You get a younger player like Bolton here, get that defense rejuvenated. Now you got that cap space to go out and get some other positions. And I mean, they took a bust here basically. So, they get a good value here. Pick 32, Nick Bolton. He's probably still giving you nightmares, but I'm not mad at it. Bucks get a good player here at 32.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that wraps up our 2021 Redraft. Shout out, I think it was King David on YouTube, man. Dropped a comment, said we should do 21. So we had to deliver. This, had some promising players in it. And, I mean, we talk about misses. There might have been like 5 or 6 in the first round, really.
Yeah, also, we took no running backs in the first round.
I mean, come on. Running backs, like, I was looking at it, too. Like, yeah, you got Najee. Javonte Williams tore his ACL.
Yeah, and there's actually reports coming out saying, like...
Elijah Mitchell's hurt all the time.
The Broncos think Javonte Williams' injury is, like, a lot more serious than, like, what they've led on to believe, and that they're kind of concerned still. So that's not good.
Yes, I mean...
Ramondre Stevenson, yeah.
Ramondre's probably somehow the best one. But, I mean...
ETN.
ETN did fall. I will say he had a good year this year after coming off that Achilles injury. But, I mean, running backs, like, you see this Javonte Williams, what was he, second rounder? I think Stevenson was, third?
I think Stevenson was in the 4th.
And then Elijah Mitchell, even after that,
6th.
Who's another solid running back. Like, you could get running backs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now, I think Nick Chubb, he was drafted either the last pick of the second round or the third round. He's a franchise running back. You look at all these running backs, like, okay, Saquon, he was taken top. Mm-hmm. McCaffrey was taken first round. I mean, when you look at running backs that draft early, sometimes they don't work out. Zeke, you could say he worked out for some years. He was drafted early. I'm trying to think who else. Like
Dalvin Cook, I believe.
Dalvin Cook was drafted early. He's had a solid but banged up career.
Yeah.
I mean, you get guys late in the draft. I mean, just look at the Chiefs with Pacheco. I mean, they had Hunt before that, who was, 6th, 7th rounder himself.
Mm-hmm.
So you get value with running backs later in the draft. So I think that's kind of why we stayed away from them.
Yeah. And then the only really person I think kind of fell out or slipped was Kwity Paye. He's been solid for the Colts, a decent edge rusher. But, I mean, it's...
He would have been a late first.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, he should have went, like, top 10 type shit.
Yeah. I kind of forgot about him. I probably would have took him over Odafe.
Yeah, and you took him at what, like 30?
I took him, 30 at the Bills.
So, I mean, it's
yeah,
late first round. I mean, it's pick and choose,
Still respected. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely not a bum, bro. Solid player.
Did Davis Mills fall out of the first round?
I mean, come on. He'd be a second round, third round. I mean, that's what was he drafted? 4th round? Like,
I think so.
So, I mean, yeah, maybe a little bit earlier, but not really a franchise quarterback. But also hasn't had, the greatest situation. He's done pretty well for what he's been dealt with his hand. So,
yeah. This was like a really top-heavy draft class.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it might still just be because, like, this is what these players only their second year. So, a few more years down the line,
there might be someone in that fifth,
players
sixth round
that develop, or they get another chance on a different team. Things can always happen or shape up differently. But
I mean, Eric Stokes, he was taking 29th. He's had an up and down career so far.
Pretty up and down.
So I mean, he's another one borderline. Early second, late second, like.
Mm-hmm.
You go either way.
Yeah, we talked about Rashad Bateman. He's been banged up. Showing flashes when he's healthy. Caleb Farley, another one. All the talent is there. He's just always injured, and it's always a crazy injury, bro. It's like,
yeah. He really hasn't.
I think he had back problems or something like that coming out of the draft. Like, his back was messed up. Like, some crazy stuff, bro.
Yeah, what was his last one? Back injury.
Like a neck or like, I think he like, it was a pretty serious one. I think he was
herniated disc.
Yeah, like, like crazy injuries, bro.
Yep.
Which sucks, but he had all the tools, coming out of Virginia Tech, I believe. So injuries just kind of derailed that. Who else? Yo, the Cowboys getting Mike at 12 was crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean,
crazy good value. I mean, that's draft night.
We know what was coming out. Those reports of him at Penn State.
Don't ask Michael what was going on in that locker room.
We don't really have to get into any of that. Character concerns.
See, that's the thing. Sometimes you look at it like when these players come out. That's why I'm kind of looking at like Jalen Carter right now.
Yeah.
And, you got those question marks. But it's like, Micah Parsons, you probably didn't know he was going to be like this good. Like, you thought he could be a good edge, whatever it was.
Bro, he got drafted as an off-the-ball linebacker, bro.
Yeah.
He wasn't even an edge rusher.
And now he's one of the best edge rushers in the game. And it's like, when he drops back, you're like, why are you dropping back the best pass rusher on this team? They literally
drafted him as like a middle linebacker.
And so you look at it, Jalen Carter, like, I always think about Laramie Tunsil as a Dolphins fan. Although these situations are different.
Like, in Jalen Carter's case, like, people died. But to what extent is, like, his involvement? What really went on, So it's weird, bro.
Yeah, it definitely needs to take some accountability. But at the same time, that other car, they were both racing, both doing dumb shit. Like, it's not like he
intentionally. Yeah. And I mean, in all the mock drafts and stuff going on right now, he's still like a top 5 pick. Like, so he's still going pretty early. In all the mock drafts I've recently seen.
So I wonder who else like is on that. I'm gonna do some research this week. Who's on that like kind of draft board slide before just those question marks?
What
Laramie Tunsil was.
That was a legendary draft night.
Yeah, I mean, he had the gas mask video, the screenshots of him, getting paid at Ole Miss.
Jeffrey Simmons and Montez Sweat, we kind of talked about them having similar situations. Your boy Joe Mixon, especially with what's going on now.
Nah, don't even say my boy, bro, because Joe Mixon probably is just ruining second chances for people like that are trying to be in the NFL or in the NFL because, out of college there was that video of him at the bar.
Yeah.
They gave him that second chance. What would he do like before this video? There was something else he did, didn't he? That he was in question marks for just like a month ago maybe.
Yeah, I forgot.
He did some wild shit again. And then now the news of, the 11-year-old kid playing with the Nerf guns in his front lawn.
Yeah.
We know what happened. So, yeah.
I'm trying to think who else.
I want to know what that was.
I think it was kind of along the lines of domestic violence, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, you might be right. Sounds like them boys in Cincinnati, they got something going on between him and Chase now.
Shamar.
But hope they're just not true, and if they are, just hopefully them boys get the help. And
Cincy is drafting a running back.
Yeah,
Bijan Robinson to the Bengals.
We'll see, man. We'll see. But that wraps up 2021 redraft, and we covered some contract talks this week. Before we do go, I do want to touch on something I think I said last week when Shaq called AD washed. For me even saying that statement on the podcast, I'm sorry, AD. You're fucking hooping on another planet right now, carrying the Lakers on your back.
Got the Lakers up to the 9 seed right now.
Yeah, he's looking like the AD of old in that quote-unquote dynasty that I talked about the other week. AD is still making it look alive somewhat, giving Lakers fans a glimmer of hope.
How long till another injury comes along and he's out for 2 to 3 weeks?
Probably like before we record the next episode.
He can stay healthy, man.
He's back to being one of the most dominant bigs in the game. And
then LeBron just got to get back, too.
You see him get that ball in the low post. It's a scary sight. So, I mean, that wraps it up, man. Heat up and down. Knicks still streaking.
They are. Although they lost to the Hornets.
They did.
That's who snapped their win streak.
What were they on, 9
or 10? I think so. 8 or 9. I think it was 9.
Yeah,
I think it was 9. Trying to get to 10. Hornets said
I did see someone on the TikTok comment Bucks had 16 in a row. I mean, we know about the Bucks. Kind of like, they're going to be in the contention for the, Eastern Conference heading to the finals. So,
Celtics are crumbling.
That's about what I expected, though. That's the type of team they are. Grant Williams. Let's talk about that real quick.
Gosh,
I'm going to make both of them. I'm going to make both of them. All right, Grant.
Where was that last year in Game 7, huh? He needed to go to the finals.
Bro,
Grant Williams is on another planet, dog.
Dude, I swear, bro. His face when I look at it now just gives me that anger, man. Because he was hooping on another planet last year against the Heat. So respect to him, but he did choke those free throws when he said he was going to make both. Can't talk your shit and then smoke both of them and not even hit one.
Yeah, I think the Celtics, they've got some question marks and at the wrong time of the season. You know, Rob Will, he goes down with I think a hamstring injury or whatever. He's day-to-day. I think he's going to miss a week or so. Jason Tatum, ever since he dropped 55 in the All-Star game, he's just been hella inconsistent. And then, you know, Marcus Smart, I just don't see him on the court anymore. Derek White's a better player than him at this moment. They've got some things they need to figure out.
Has been a fraud his whole career, man. His whole career.
I'm here for
like he's just Pat Bev. Like I don't get why people be hyping him up. He was dropping triple doubles in college, and I was like, okay, he might be. Bro,
Marcus Smart's a glorified Pat Bev.
Yes, I do believe that. He is a glorified Pat Bev. Like, that's just my opinion, man.
I can see it. But, yeah, I mean, Jaylen Brown, he's been decent at best. He kind of just gives you nothing on defense. He's all offense and scoring. Tatum just got to step up, man.
Jaylen Brown's a two-way. What do you mean?
He's leveled up more offensively, so I feel like his offensive game has stepped up a lot more, and he's solid on defense, but it's not, you know, you need more on the defensive side of the ball from him.
They just need Rob Will back, bro. He's an absolute anchor.
40-year-old Al Horford is, you know, hitting clutch shots for you. It's kind of tough, you know, like banking on a Al Horford corner three. Like,
I got PTSD from that shit, I'll tell you that much. The Heat are playing the Cavs right now, down 1 in the second quarter.
That's a playoff game.
Yeah, I'm definitely tuning in right after this.
Too. Evan Mobley, excuse me.
Evan Mobley.
He's definitely like elevated
Mikal
his
Bridges for the Nets, bro. He just absolutely made me look like a dumbass for picking up Cam Thomas, because he hasn't done shit. He's not even getting PT no more over there on the Nets because Bridges is dropping. I think
30.
I was watching Pick a Side podcast. Shout out to them. I think Bridges in 465 days had as many 30-point games as he does right now with the Nets.
Yeah,
crazy stat. But you see what he's doing, man, as, you know, kind of the number one option.
And he's hella efficient, too.
Yeah. You know
I believe I think he's 50, 40, 90 right now as well.
Yeah, you can't deny it.
He's been blessing my fantasy team. I will say that.
Yeah, this season, I mean, I wish I could just with the Nets in 10 games, he's averaging 26.5, 52 from the field, 48% from three. Like, it's not even 40, 48%. It's damn near 50.
50,
5 boards, 3 assists, a steal, and 0.8 blocks. And that's just in, 10 games and 35 minutes a game. Like,
and that kind of makes you wonder, bro, like, how many people around the league that are like, they get
on
coined,
super teams,
get coined, like, certain terms. Like, bro, before this season, Bridges was like a 3-and-D guy. Like, all right, he just guards the best player on the other team and then just stand in the corner and wait for, like, a Chris Paul kick out, like, at the end of the shot clock. Like, who are some of these guys that are just on teams that, like, they have certain roles that if they were on a team like the Knicks or, a team like the Pistons where, like, they can just go hoop, like, bro, like, just walking 30 buckets. Like, you don't even know, though.
Yeah, bro. I mean, the Nets had one on their bench the whole time, walking 40 ball, but just a liability on defense with Cam.
All you want to do is shoot that bitch, dog. You don't want to do nothing else,
that, bro.
You want to pass, you're not playing defense, but you don't shoot that bitch.
Yeah, I respect that dog mentality for sure. But, yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, right now, there's probably not too many players off the top of my head. Go out and get that 30 ball,
like someone like Trey Murphy, bro. Like, what if he was on this Nets team? Could he, like, give you, like, 25 a night? I mean, The Pelicans actually are kind of in a similar situation with Zion out for 2 more weeks. Like,
Yeah.
but I mean, if he had a chance to be the number 1 option, because
Is
Bi
B.I.
is there.
Yeah. Is he playing again?
Yeah, he's been hooping.
Yeah. I mean, he's a bucket. But yeah, you got anything else you want to add before we sign off?
Pretty much it, man. Covered a lot of good stuff this episode.
Yeah, for sure. Let us know if you want to see more redrafts, what years, anything like that. Goal2Go on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that share button. TikTok, Goal2Go pod. Go show some love on that, man. Appreciate everyone tuning in. We'll catch y'all next week, man. Peace.
Peace.